Oh, no. No, no, no. Absolutely not. It is not a good night, but we're going to do this shit anyway.
The stirs make you glance. Grab your hats, y'all. AJoT's going live on YouTube. Where the truth fly. With the boots on the ground, a cam in her hand. AJoT's patrolling this great land. Through city streets and back road dust. She's watching the watchers in her we trust. Streaming live from dawn to night. She's the voice of justice, the beacon of light. AJoT standing tall and proud. Country heart, her voice ain't loud. Tune in on YouTube, see her stance. She's telling the stories that make you glance. Under the neon lights or the setting sun, AJoT's work is never done. From the sheriff's misdeeds to the city patrol, her lens is sharp, she's on a roll. Investigating truths with a country flair. On YouTube, you'll find it there. So hit that subscribe, ring the bell for more. AJoT's got stories galore. On YouTube's trail, she rides ahead. Champion of the free, just like she said.
Welcome, everybody. Hope all y'all are doing great. Tell them Sasquatch
Good
is
enough,
doing
damn it.
good.
We're not gonna stand on freaking circumstance. I have restarted my damn computer like 7 times in the last hour and it went plaid. I'm not happy. So instead of being happy, we're gonna have a show. And I don't know how well that's gonna work out, but we're gonna try. If it crashes more than 3 times in the next hour, I will be done. I will be done. But we're gonna roll with it. Have you ever seen Dumb and Dumber?
Yeah.
How did you like that film?
I mean, it's stupid funny, so it was good.
It's stupid
Right.
and funny, right?
Right.
Is it stupid funny? Like really, really, really funny?
No, it's so stupid that it's funny.
Okay. So do you know any people, any couple of guys out there in the world personally that you think kind of fits the bill? I do.
Maybe.
There's a couple of guys that run around town. They work together. They share a duplex. Like they don't actually live together, but it's a very near thing. They're in the same under the same roof, but not in the same house. If that makes sense. And we kind of call them Dumb and Dumber everywhere we see them. It's even funny because one of them's blonde, one's brunette, and it's hilarious. They're not stupid. They paint and do odd jobs and stuff for folks, but it's hilarious to see them ride down the road to work truck. That's not a dog, but what can you do? So I was tooling around the interwebs over here, and I come across this video called "The Real Life Dumb and Dumber." It's from ArrestFlix, so if we get taken down, it'll be their fault at this point. And because I'm running bare balls, y'all. I ain't got nothing going on back here. I've got no email. I've got no Rumble. If you're on Rumble, you're lost. I'll never see you again. I have no idea what's going on over there. I don't even know if it's actually live. It's over there blinking, so we'll see. My OBS may crash out. It may go horribly wrong at any moment. How was your week?
My week was great. My day was good. My computer's working, so yay. But
all right.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna
say hello to the chat.
You can try, but I ain't poking nothing. I ain't clicking no more buttons than I absolutely have.
Well, I mean, again, I must say, if I was in your back pocket, I could be clicking comments. Anyway, so I'm still trying to click. I'm like, look, I still doing it. Anyway, so we got Dub up in the house. Yay. What's up, Dub? I don't count. We got 420 somewhere over. No, I'm just kidding. Irish Rover. Got Freeside. And we have Carl Mandina. We got D Johns up in the house. I'm still trying to click it. We got Freakin'. What's up, Freakin'? Freakin'. And we got Danny's thoughts. I was thinking. What were you thinking? And how about Blood Dragoon? And I think that's it.
Good enough for government work. I mean, after all, I'll argue. Okay, so we're going to get you through this thing no matter what, and we'll go as far as we can with it. But I give you the real life Dumb and Dumber. These gentlemen are not having a good day. I will venture as far as to say that they, seeing as how they are in handcuffs, apparently, possibly in a paddy wagon.
Yeah, kind of looks like that.
It has not been a good day. I suspect it's going to get far worse before this day is over. So let's see where we land.
Welcome in, Linda. Mindful exposures.
Okay. I don't know who the hell's listening on the other side of the gate, but I love my family.
On January 1st, 2023, around 2:27 in the morning, police officer Richard Letter was on patrol along a local street when he noticed a man later identified as Carson Bo Williams leaning against the side of a business. Williams had his hands in front of his crotch, out of sight between his body and the building. The officer observed a stream running down the wall, consistent with someone urinating on it. The officer illuminated Williams with their flashlight and informed him that it was time to zip up.
Oh boy, we got the stance right there, bro. That man is definitely peeing on something. I don't even need to see no more. He's guilty. All the evidence of the world right there, folks. Right there. I'm telling you. There. Boy, they got his ass red-handed, wet-handed. There's a distinct smell hovering around you, son. They're so screwed.
Excuse me, young man.
He's all leaned over. Oh, dang.
You awake? You done peeing?
That's not
Do
good.
what? Time to zip it up.
The
Wait a
officer
second.
found a
Hold
fake
on.
ID on.
Homie was passed out against the wall.
I mean, it sort of seemed like it. Like he was peeing and just kind of cling. I've seen it happen. I mean,
I don't, but hold on, man.
He seemed like he was non-responsive for a moment.
You don't suppose that maybe he was just trying to hope the cop will wander the fuck off?
I mean, that is possible.
Maybe he was trying to use his camouflage technique. I'm just a bush, bro. Don't see me.
I mean, why would you pee right there? I mean, that seems like a busy.
People are not renowned for their intelligent decisions while inebriated.
I agreed.
In fact, it's quite the opposite, as I understand it. I don't remember. I mean, not me, but I hear other people have that problem.
Flashlight and informed him that it was time to zip up.
A peeing tree.
Excuse me, young man.
Oh no, he's out. He's actually passed out. That's not a look at him. Look at the way he's got his knee locked against the wall with his head.
You awake?
No. He just woke up.
Do what? Time to zip it up.
What did you say? I
can't understand. He just seems to have picked up a sentence. I couldn't understand what he said. Okay. He wasn't answering.
The officer found a fake ID on Williams. Despite being drunk, he revealed his real name and age, which showed that he was, in fact, underage. EMS came, but he refused medical help. The fake ID was kept for evidence, but that's not all. Watching William's wacky trip to the jailhouse is a show you just don't want to miss.
ID. ID. Now. ID. For what? For what? Down on the ground.
I mean, that's a big boy.
Was
You
that
know he fell
necessary?
hard.
But was that necessary? Let's look at it
ID.
again.
ID.
Oh, that is definitely an escape.
I mean, he is fleeing, you know.
Is that what you call it? It's definitely an escape. I don't know if it raises to the bar of fleeing.
He's fleeing.
It is definitely eluding. Although I challenge him to say it. Oh boy, this guy's gonna have a rough day. Oh no. That's why I don't drink in public.
For what? For what? Down on the ground.
See, I don't think it was that bad. Like, it may have been that bad, but it was not due to the force of the officer.
I'm going to have to give the cop the benefit of the doubt on this one, because any attempt to touch that man whatsoever may have resulted in exactly that type of a takedown, because his balance was already shot. His attempt to run away looked like my grandfather trying to make it to the bathroom before he peed himself. He's like, no, I'm getting away. There is no cop chasing me.
Welcome in, Claiborne.
I'll just say it. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna give the cop a pass on that takedown, not because he took him down hard, but or rather, yeah, he's already off balance and out of step.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, I mean, he tripped. Like, the cop didn't help the situation, of course.
I didn't say he helped him.
No, right. But I'm just saying, I mean, you know, when a big body intoxicated, you know, and misses a step or gets tripped, it's going to fall hard.
Well, Danny's thoughts, I was thinking, he may not have been under arrest, but after the cop lights you up with a spotlight and says, "Sir, zip it up," and then you try to leave while he's going,
you gave him a fake ID.
Yeah, no, we've got problems all the way from the very launch on this. There is a detainment. It is implicit because you were peeing in public. It's not a question of whether or not he was. You saw him standing in a puddle, passed out. We haven't even gotten to public drunkenness, disorderly conduct, and other various things that may have been underway. This is just on its surface.
Dude, and I tell you what, like, I mean, except for Justice, my newborn, but all my kids are boys. So, like, when they got to pee, they don't care where they pee at. They'll go pee anywhere. And I'm just like, one of these days, you're going to get busted.
Yeah, it'll happen. It's happened to me. It's happened to virtually every man who's got the balls to whip it out. But then again, I've also been pulled naked out of pools on several occasions. So, I mean,
there's that.
Not a lot of shame in this house. I don't really do that shame thing. It's not really a thing. It's in your head, not mine.
Get out of hand. Do it now. All right. Sorry. Good. Yep. Roll over. Hang on. 26 Central. 1095 with one run target. All right, stand up for me. There's his glasses right there. Get my motherfucking glasses.
That dude's underage?
Why, dude? Why?
Why, dude? Why?
I'm just walking down the street.
You were peeing and then you took off from us. Why do you want to fight with the police? Why? I'm not walking. I'm not trying to walk with the police.
He's right. He's not walking.
Okay.
Then don't believe the law.
Where's your ID, bud?
It's in my back pocket.
Thank you.
Where's your ID, bud? In my back pocket. Thank you. And he's already got the wallet in his hand. He mugged that kid before he even asked.
Damn.
I saw him too, Dove. He was panel hopping. He was being a panel whore the other day.
All right. So far as I've been able to determine, there is no sexually transmitted diseases associated with panels. So I figure, why not?
Why not?
Also, I'm trying to find people to come on Sasquatch Shills, and they just are terrified of me for some strange reason. I don't understand it. Am I that scary?
I mean, a little bit.
A little bit. How am I don't know. Let's not get into that right here. We'll discuss that after the show.
Dun, dun.
I'm trying to uncuff some more handcuffs. Do you have a real ID in this wallet?
How old are you?
Oh, homie hadn't even run the damn thing. He just looked at it. Was like, you got a real ID? Like, wow. Oh no, that is not a good sign. Did you see that nice young lady that just walked by barefoot on the street? That's not good.
Ew.
Wasn't even carrying her shoes.
Ew.
There's no dude walking with her carrying her shoes either. Dude was walking with another chick. He may have had some shoes. I didn't know that. But she is in a sequin dress with no shoes. You know this night is off to a fantabulous start.
Right?
I'd go around the block. I don't think I'd walk by the cops if I was that drunk.
So he's on the ground. They stood him up though, right?
Yeah, they got him up.
Okay, so where's your real ID, bud?
But now he's on the ground?
Yeah, he's right there, leaned up against the trash can.
Your real ID is right here in your back pocket.
Oh no, Jeff, get out of the truck. You're in the paddy wagon, bro. You're going to prison. They're taking you to the clean room.
All I got right now is literally a stop sign. God, I can't wait
I thank you, Danny's thoughts, and my mama thank you too, but she did.
And my hand, yeah, my handcuffs are too. My handcuffs are too. Don't say that shit. No, my handcuffs. Don't say that shit. You see
I swear I went to school with this guy.
What?
Said I swear I went to school with this guy. I mean, this whole thing just looks so familiar to me. I feel like I've experienced it.
It's better saying nothing than something.
Much love, son of Otis.
Oh, we're at the fucking jail. What the fuck did I do?
Cheers.
Our place all the time, Cody. New Year's Eve, 2023.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He doesn't have much room.
Imagine folding Joe Cool up in one of those. You'd have to find an additional fold, man. What is he, like 6'7"? He's a big boy.
Yeah.
That's why
I
I'm
don't
his
even
little
think he could sit that way. What? What? Wait, what?
No, we can't make the video bigger. The only way I can do that is by cutting off both sides of it and being the only person on camera. This is supposed to be her show, right? We're doing this. This is what StreamYard gives us to work with. Do I like it? No. Do I enjoy it? Am I going to do it? Yep. I don't know what else to tell you, bro. I mean, now let's see how this gentleman went from this to that.
At least in my last one, the
Well, now he looks comfortable.
Yeah, we good. We're good. Just about the other guy, though.
What?
How's the other guy looking?
Y'all okay? Yeah, we good. We good. I don't know about that other guy though. They're apparently on the other side of this.
So there is somebody in there, right? He's talking to somebody, or somebody else is.
No, this is a paddy wagon. Paddy wagon has a division down the middle, so the prisoners can't kick at each other, right?
Gotcha.
So this side has all the little straps for this side, and he's the first guy in this side. But on the other side of this little metal wall right there, there are at least 2 other individuals who are in the back of this truck.
Okay.
I assume that he is that they are also in handcuffs, considering the cop immediately tried to check on them. I think the other door is open at the moment. Okay. They're dealing with those people. They put him in. He should be in cold storage for a second. It'd be fine. He might even sober up a little bit, but obviously not. Yeah, he's just a little sleepy. We're getting there, ATL. I knew that would bring you up out the cobwebs.
We're good, man.
What's up, the angry bit? Welcome in, man.
Help me.
Ripple Effect Media, good to see you. You hate them. Oh, good. We are all in agreement.
That's legally the law.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, that's shit. Hey, y'all, how you doing over there?
Good, sir. How are you?
I'm arrested.
How you doing over there? I'm arrested. Great. I mean, I've had better days that I wasn't arrested.
That was funny. Oh, that was so funny.
I hear that one, Jimmy.
You and me, we're gonna be good friends.
If they see a record, it's like that's legally the law.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, that's shit. Hey, y'all, how you doing over there?
Good, sir. How are you?
I'm arrested.
You know what? Drunk could be better, but you know what? We're drunk, so that's what it is.
I don't think this guy's even
We're just
drunk.
gonna be drunk. That's what it is.
The one
I mean,
talking,
he don't look drunk.
this guy looks like he got picked up on like a public exposure, or maybe
What?
I don't know. I mean, there's no telling. Maybe his buddy snatched his pants down and made him chase him around outside. Well, you're going to jail, son.
He doesn't appear intoxicated. I get it.
Or not as intoxicated. The comparison here might be quite vast.
Feel that.
Mike, can you hear me?
I love you, man.
If you don't make it through it, I swear to God, you'll be fine.
Oh, snap. Mr. No Fly Zone, what's up?
No, I respect them, but
I know, of course.
no, yeah, no, that's how I am too. But hey, counters, you go in and look at
What's up, dead presidents? What are that? Enterprises?
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like John Connor. Yeah, no, I noticed that. I almost said something about it. I thought it might have been a reach.
Hey, just take it. Hey, this one, my shit's behind my back, if you don't mind.
This ain't my first time here.
I will pay for your shit.
I can cover myself, man. You don't gotta worry about me. Just worry about yourself.
Mind yourself, man. You ain't got to worry about me. You mind yourself, man.
Respect thing, okay? I respect your ass for that shit, okay? There is a rare amount of folk that I respect that shit you did, okay? Regardless of
He's talking about there's a rare number of folks that I respect. I want you to be one of them. This dude is hammered, son. Oh, my Lord. I wonder what he was drinking. I'm just curious. That man looked like he could put down a few.
I mean, right? You would think.
So what happens on the other side of that fucking door? You have earned your spot in that place. Okay?
What? What?
No matter what it's in Macon, Georgia,
That explains everything.
He's from Georgia.
Yeah. That explains everything. I now understand the circumstances we are in. This man learned with professionals. And now this kid, by simple appearance within his dream of reality, has become a lifelong soul mate. We're talking brethren here. I love you, man.
ATL, I mean, it doesn't even make sense. But on the other side of that door, bro, I mean, he's got respect.
Right. Yeah, basically, for no apparent reason, this guy has adopted this kid. He sat down next to him like, me and you, dude, me and you. Like,
but I think the skinny beanpole kid is like not having it. You know?
Yeah, no, he's trying to maintain distance, which is why I don't think he's been drinking. I think he got picked up on a minor possession of some sort.
Maybe.
Mentoring.
find your ass, and you will be my boy. Okay.
And you will be my boy.
You will be my boy.
Okay. And I respect you always.
Hey.
Well, let's see. You got me by about 170 pounds. You damn right I respect you. Yes, sir. That man is a sir at this point. My hands are behind my back, and he's got me by 100 pounds. Yes, sir.
There's no reason for all the violence. No reason for violence. If there's no violence to start with, you know what I mean?
I agree.
No reason, bro.
That's assault.
I just feel like, you know, if we enjoy on the same agreement to begin with, let's take a little bargain. We'll get it right, and then hey, let's just have fun. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason to be aggressive and.
Is he like sitting there like, get me out of these cuffs? You know what I mean? He's all like, get me out of these cuffs.
Y'all have got to get me the fuck out of this truck right now. Sir, I think you put me in the wrong truck.
Oh,
I'm not supposed to be going to an asylum or a drunk tank. I am a drug user. Don't put me in with these drunk bastards. They're weird.
weird.
And God dang, mile and a half, you know, bitches up, you know. There ain't no reason for all that shit, you know. I ain't never done all that shit.
I ain't getting none of that.
Okay. Believe me. I got you. You ain't my boy. I got you. You are my boy right now, as it is.
He's already getting ready for them jail, buddy. You my boy. Yeah, you my bitch. Yeah. Hold on to this pocket.
Yes, sir.
Bro, guess what? Get out of there. Get out of there. Please. That shit is not good for you. I don't want to say anything or do too much, but hey, please. And I say this.
That blood? That looks like blood on his shirt, right?
Because, dude.
No, right here, that's the ArrestFlix watermark that they bounce around so that we can't steal their content without going through all of the fair use stuff, you know.
Okay.
Which is what we're doing.
My bad.
They're like, it doesn't do a whole lot of good, but I guess it stops re-uploads and stuff. What's up, Ben? Welcome in, bud. Good to see you. Appreciate you coming by. We like each and every one of you like a brother and a sister.
That's how I started, bro. I was like, man, I don't want to really do it. I just ain't making money. You know, bro, just come and talk to me, okay? Please do. I feel terrible if you don't.
I just realized this kid has missed a hell of an opportunity. He doesn't even need therapy today. He could have it right now.
Right?
He just opened his heart to this man and he'll show him to the light.
You and your boys, okay? Whoever the fuck you got going on below you, bro. I feel terrible. You got what you got going on, okay? You gotta believe some too.
I feel like this guy's way too sober to be in this situation.
I mean, I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm so confused.
Yeah, he has no idea who this guy is. They plopped him in next to him, slammed the door. Everybody okay? I'm arrested. All right, we're good. They climbed in and started driving away. And this dude's just like, please, God, invent light speed.
Right. I mean, the big boy's like, hey, man, I've been here. You know, I know, I know how to do this. I know how to handle this. You my boy, okay? And let me tell you, I don't give my respect to too many people, but you my boy. So, you got me.
Ben T figured it out. Therapy. The rapey.
Yeah.
You know that's what he's thinking.
Let's go.
Did they just bump heads? Did they just like do a headbutt? Like, bro?
I don't think so.
You got going on below you, bro. I feel terrible. You got what you got going on.
Like, how does he know what he has going on?
Oh, God,
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. What? Like, they gotta know each other or something.
No. He's just chained up in a box next to this guy. He's got to get along with him. He knows this dude will stomp him out.
I've never in my life so
Unfortunately, I might.
Welcome in, no fear.
We will watch that okay? And I'll be damned how we do it. Okay. I know my shit's behind my back right now.
You see that look of utter fear.
Oh my god! Oh my
Look at
god!
that face, though. Look at him.
I know. I know.
He's like, man, they got me.
If that shit goes my way, you're gonna swap sides ass.
Goes my way.
Should both be in synchronous talking about what happened. There should not be a reason for us to be talking about what happened with our situational finances in the whole
Well, he's right.
process of situational position. Like there should not be.
What did he just say?
He said situational. Dude, he's hammered. They found him passed out against a building, peeing down his own leg.
Right. And so that even surprises me even more. Like now he's trying to be Dr. Phil.
Oh, he's just really articulate for a guy who was comatose 30 seconds ago.
It should be touchdown, this touchdown. And if not, you know what? Give them the beans. Because I'm going to be right there with them when I get the beans. We're going to have the beans together. We're going to have the hardcore punishment. And we're going to take it together. Because we're men. And we're going to take it like men.
Look, he's like, bitch, I'm getting bailed out. What are you talking
I'm
about?
going to be there 17 minutes. That's how long it takes. I Googled it on the way here. My mom will be here in 17 minutes. I called her before I was arrested. And your ass is going to stay in the drunk tank all night. Mm-hmm. But I'm wondering, when he says give them the beans, are they talking about Molly?
No.
Ecstasy or something, or is it just because homie don't look like he's on ecstasy? Neither one of them really do.
I mean, I really don't know what people look like on ecstasy. So
they tend to rub against things.
Well, I mean that part I've seen.
This dude does not appear to be enjoying himself on any level.
No, not the skinny boy, but I mean,
position. There should not be. It should be touchdown, this touchdown. And if not, you know what? Give them the beans. Because I'm going to be right there with them when I get the beans. We're going to have the beans together. We're going to have the hardcore punishment. And we're going to take it together. Because we're men. And we're going to take it like men.
He's looking straight at the camera at this point. You know what I mean? Like...
live like this.
This kid's frame awareness is amazing. He turned and eyeballed the camera at just the right moment. That should have been a freaking thumbnail right there. Yeah. Like, yep. Get me the fuck out of here, please.
Should be. Because our Williams family pace should just be like how they are. And I need you to know. I need you to give me a payment for that. I really do. And I'm listening to you. I'm listening to you right now. I love my family. Trade a damn thing for it. Okay? I don't know who it is listening on the other side of the gate, but I love my family.
Look,
that is my family.
Excuse me, officer. I would like to speak with whoever I can at this moment.
That's okay.
No,
go ahead.
Anybody but him. Anybody but this guy. Anybody.
Somebody so they can obviously try and help me out of this messy situation that I'm in. Because
yeah, I don't think he's talking about the arrest.
Okay, I'd love to see it.
He's all up in his personal space.
The drama, the disco, the Thanksgiving, this, that. I'd love to just see everybody and be able to love everybody, okay? And I love everybody, okay? But
did he just say how
hard it is?
I think so. I think he did. He's like,
help. Yeah. Yeah, when he went forward.
Giving this, that. I'd love to just see everybody and be able to love everybody, okay? And I love everybody, okay? But you gotta understand how hard it is. I will beat you when I get out of this damn.
all right. Hold on. Before we start getting to the physical bodily harm threats, I want to point out that I have a theory that this kid will go on and never touch anything illicit ever again under any circumstances. I think this man has put the fear of God in him. I bet you he graduated valedictorian.
I mean, yeah. I mean, this moment definitely has changed.
Scary dude.
There is no way you can understand how bad I will beat you out of this damn drunk tank. But it's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be ugly whenever you get done with it. Okay? Right to the wall.
Hold on. Did you hear the other guy?
No.
He was talking to the dude through the wall.
Okay.
One of the other people in the paddy wagon. And the homie tells him, just say it to the wall. Say it to the wall. Meanwhile, the kid next to him is starting to get antsy. Right, the drunk guy's an undercover cop. That's the best. That'd be the best.
She's gonna move first, like before anything, right?
So it's him. It's the fellow in red because he came in before, and then it's if you want her to go first, I'll let her go first. Yeah, I mean y'all came in at the same time, so it'll be her.
Please take women first. I have no idea who's taking who.
Yeah.
Please take the women first.
So Green's going first.
Hurts my heart for women not to be taken first.
I actually have to take you first, but that's just because of our policy. You've been in here the longest. But
I'm listening to you.
She'll go before he goes.
Okay.
Because
where is she going versus where am I going?
Y'all are all going to the same place.
Where is that?
That door right down there.
Where is that door right down there?
That's the intake room.
Intake room. As of jail.
Sheriff's office, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Looks like the broship that we thought would build into something was only one-sided. As for Williams, he got a one-way ticket to the local jail. Who knows? Maybe he'll find a new pal there just itching to be his bro.
Culture Club, welcome in.
And defecate. Oh no, not and, but. That was kind of funny.
It was that poor boy.
I'm impressed. Okay,
the
ATL,
most evil women in history. It's a pretty well-known fact if you look at my channel.
You
guys
stop it. See, nothing's working quite right.
So hold up. So Culture Club, you'll have to rewind, but the video we just went over was Dumb and Dumbest, like in real life.
That's what I went for, Dumb and Dumbest, because homie got stuck in a place he did not want to be with somebody he did not want to be there with. I am shocked and appalled, I tell you. Oh, boy, what kind of
when you got somebody saying, "Help me."
Help me, please. All right, so we have the most. We went over one of this guy's videos last week. It was the most evil experiments. Right, we got about halfway through it, I think. Well, I found the most evil women in history, according to him, and it's hold on. Trust Me, Bro is the name of the channel. Like, comment, and subscribe, folks. Trust me, bro.
The most evil women in history. It's a pretty well-known fact if you look at my channel that you guys like morbid content. Whether it be killers, torture methods, or mythical creatures, you guys like weird and scary. But unfortunately, with most of these topics, one thing I haven't really covered is women. And I'm all about inclusivity and equal representation. So in this video, I wanted to switch it up a bit and focus on the women of evil. Dangerous, evil women that kill people and more. And if you thought women were scary before this video, they're going to be terrifying after. Let's begin. First up on our list is Beverly Allitt, one of Britain's most hated serial killers. She worked as a nurse in the children's ward in the UK and ultimately intentionally injured 13 of her patients and murdered 4 of them in the process. The 9 that did survive weren't much better for wear and were seriously injured. Beverly would administer lethal insulin injections and also inserted air bubbles into the bloods of her victim. One of the saddest parts about the story is that all of these crimes were committed in only a 2-month period, and all of her victims were infants, one of which was only 2 months old. One of the scariest parts about the story is that Beverly had no clear motives, and due to her mental health concerns, she wasn't held in prison. She's currently in a secure hospital. It is so extremely unfortunate that in such a short amount of time, this woman was able to inflict so much damage upon so many young, vulnerable people. It's truly disgusting. I suppose the silver lining is that she was relatively quickly found out after only 59 days or just under 2 months, but even one child harmed is too many in my books. Let's move on. Next up, we have Leonarda Cenciulli, a dangerous female killer from Italy. This story is a trip, so just try to follow along. To put it frankly, this woman was a nut job. She had a very rough upbringing and was extremely superstitious. Her family mistreated her, and that led her to rebel and marry a man that her family didn't approve of. She was then banished from her family, and she believed that her family had put a curse on her that would only allow her to have negative experiences. And she believed in this curse heavily. You'll see what I mean. She dearly wanted to be a mother, but unfortunately, out of the 17 pregnancies that she had, only 4 of her children survived, one of which was her son, who she loved dearly and would do anything to protect. She saw a palm reader, and the palm reader told her that all of her children would die before her, and she didn't want to believe it. Not too much longer later, in 1939, the World War II draft happened, and her son was of age to be drafted. So what did she do? Well, she thought she could have a human sacrifice to protect her son. What she did was she targeted vulnerable middle-aged women that were unhappy and unmarried and promised them a life of good fortune and much more. The first victim she invited over, she told to write all of her friends and family's postcards saying that she is so happy in life right now, and also told her to not tell anybody what she was doing. This victim came to Leonardo's house, drank wine that was poisoned, passed out, and Leonardo killed her and cut up her body and turned her body into soap and tea cakes, which she served to her friends and even her son. But unfortunately, it doesn't stop there. This one
Wow. Okay, ATL, you wanted evil? This woman didn't just kill people. She killed them and served them up at tea and then bathed with them. Oh, boy. Someone slept with this woman.
I know. For her to have how many kids?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it didn't happen twice, so it was probably 2 different dudes. I suspect you might have noticed a little bit of, you know.
sacrifice that she did to protect her son in the war wasn't quite enough for her, so she ended up doing the same thing again 3 more times. But she was eventually caught as her last victim's sister was growing concerned of where she could be, and fortunately she heard that her sister, the victim, was last seen going into Leonardo's house. That prompted an investigation where both Leonardo and her son Giuseppe were taken into custody, where she promptly admitted to everything and pled guilty to all of the charges. This case is so strange and morbid, and I honestly can't understand how one can be so superstitious. But there has to be more going on here, because nobody who's just superstitious ends up eating people. Disgusting and crazy, honestly. I know I put a lot of...
I mean, I'll throw a little salt over my shoulder occasionally if I happen to spill it. I'll, you know, I might not, I won't go under ladders, but that's not because of superstition. That's because if something's going to fall on your head, that's most likely where it's going to happen. I don't do stupid things that are, you know, a lot of these old superstitions are actually a case of just cautionary tales, you know, where you don't do these things, but they don't explain why. And so it becomes canonized in a sort of superstition around it. Well, I can't tell you why, but I know you don't do it. It's bad mojo, you know, that kind of stuff. And as far as like the salt thing, that's totally a sacrificial offering to the gods that be.
of time into this story specifically, but I thought that this context was kind of required, and I thought that this story was just too crazy not to give more detail on. There's no doubt this woman is evil and dangerous. Let's keep moving. This next entry brings us all the way back to the 1500s in Hungary with Elizabeth Bathory. Before I get into the details, I'm going to say this. There are two popular beliefs about the story of...
Okay. We haven't done it, but I've been kind of planning to do this for a minute. Like he's saying, there are two popular theories as to the story of Elizabeth Bathory and why and how and for what reason she did these things. I was kind of thinking about doing sort of a, not really a deep dive, but sort of a hop and a skip across that story, because it's been a little bit, people have added a little to it over the years, and just about everybody who covers the story either gets into the more outlandish ones that I'm not sure are accurate, or they try to say that none of that is real. I kind of want to cover it from both directions, because some people try to equate her with being a vampire, and others say that she had I can't remember the name of the disease, but the one that makes people want to drink blood. I think she was just twisted as fuck and thought she found the fountain of youth in the hearts of young women, so she would bleed them and bathe in their blood. But let's let the cartoon kid tell you about it.
Elizabeth Bathory. One is that this entire story was made up and fabricated to discredit her and her family, and the entire situation was just a witch hunt to put her away. The second belief, which I think that I'm a part of after doing some research on the topic, is that everything I'm about to discuss is historical fact and true, and this lady was an absolute maniac. Elizabeth was given the nickname Blood Countess, and even Countess Dracula, as she had very odd vampiric tendencies. Elizabeth was obsessed with her looks and preserving her youth, and unfortunately she thought that the best way to do so was by bathing in the blood of her virgin servants, and that's exactly what she did. She began torturing, beating, and murdering them, and then draining the blood from their bodies and doing what she wished with it. Allegedly, her husband even built her a torture chamber in their castle where she could inflict horrific acts on the servant girls. Of course, she only had so many servants and consistently needed to recruit new servants to become a victim of hers, which she would prey upon the daughters of younger class families who felt blessed to have the opportunity to interact with the higher classes. Unfortunately, their daughters never returned home. After targeting the daughters of noblemen, formal complaints were submitted and Bathory was investigated, and her crimes were uncovered. She was convicted of 80 counts of murder, and in 1611 was confined to a room in a castle with only slits for food and air, and she died 3 years later. Now, I'll let you guys make up your mind about whether or not this woman was dangerous and evil or not, but the fact that there is so much evidence, 52 collected statements, and the fact that this has stayed through history for almost 600 years, to me definitely says that she's not innocent and likely not a great person either, at the very least. But let's keep going. Now, bringing it back to the modern day in the United Kingdom, we have Joanne Dennehy, another one of the UK's most notorious female serial killers. She's also known as the Peterborough ditch murderer because she would throw bodies in ditches in Peterborough, where she lived. Kind of self-explanatory, but to put it bluntly, Joanne is a narcissistic psychopath who had a very unfortunate draw to men and extremely evil intentions. And by draw to men, I don't mean that she was interested in men. I mean that men could not resist her. She had some sort of magnetic personality that people were just attracted to. And this, unfortunately, isn't super uncommon for narcissists and sociopaths when you first meet them. Just for a bit of context of how...
I don't know what they're talking about.
How evil this woman truly is she's by professionals and experts considered one of the most dangerous, if not the most dangerous woman to be in the criminal system in the United Kingdom right now as we speak. In March of 2013, Joanne and her accomplice, Gary Richard, had the grand idea of mimicking Bonnie and Clyde by murdering 9 men. And unfortunately, over the course of 10 days, they murdered 3 men and severely injured 2 others by stabbing them. She was eventually caught when the poorly hidden bodies were found. And if you want to really know how truly messed up this person was, when the first body was found, he was naked from the waist down and his top half was covered in a sequin dress. She specifically dressed up the body like this to humiliate him as his body was found, if killing him wasn't bad enough. Investigators immediately knew that they were dealing with a deeply disturbed individual, and after they caught...
So I'm wondering, if I got picked up by a hot chick and killed, and they put me in a dress, would y'all buy that?
No.
I mean, I was found dead in a dress. You can't deny that. So, I mean,
sus,
right? You would go to your grave with this curiosity. Of course, I haven't helped the situation by hitting on every dude I come across, but yeah.
caught her, they knew that they were exactly right. The first victim that they found was actually her landlord. Victims were random dog walkers that they found on the road. There's a lot more deep and disturbing details to get into about this specific situation, and there are more than the scope of this video. It's an hour long, but I think I covered most of the important details to convey the information that this woman is evil, dangerous, and straight up menacing. But we're not done yet. Let's keep going. This next dangerous woman was described by the judge of the case as evil himself. So if there's any entry fitting for the list, it's this one. This entry also has an interview available on YouTube, which I watched for this video, and it is very disturbing, and you can see
and it is very disturbing. Snarky,
welcome in, Snark.
I'm glad to see my weirdos came out tonight. Muppet.
Exactly how strange and genuinely crazy this person is. The way that they were able to justify their crimes to themselves and just lie is absolutely astonishing. And well, I'll just say it's strange. And if you're interested in watching it, you can look it up. The last thing I'll say before I reveal her identity is this. This case is very odd because if you watched our last video, you'll notice a common theme of serial killers focusing on sex workers. But in this case, it is the complete opposite. This dangerous woman was a sex worker who killed her clients and made them her victims. Don't yet know who I'm talking about. I'm speaking on Aileen Wuornos.
Aileen Wuornos. She killed, I think it was 13 people or something like that. Might have been more, might have been less. I can't remember. But I know that the cops cottoned to the fact that it was a hooker killing men, right? They figured it out some kind of how because one of the guys told someone that he was going to hook up with a particular hooker. And so they knew for a fact, or were pretty damn sure, that this was an itinerant sex worker who was murdering men. And I bet you there are way more of them than we have any idea. If you counted those people as serial killers, that man and woman bias might be balanced out a little bit. But quite often, if a woman, they just overlook the fact that they've killed 6 men as sex workers because obviously those men attempted to rape them. But that's not always the case. You know, sometimes they just murk motherfuckers.
Welcome in, Dennis.
Welcome in, Dennis Bigfoot. Good to see you, bud. Appreciate you coming by.
Also known as the Damsel of Death. Like essentially every serial killer, Aileen had a very troubled upbringing, and this no doubt led to the life that she led. She worked as a sex worker in the 1980s along highways in Florida, and between 1989 and 1999, she killed a total of 6 men in only a 12-month period. She would drug men, shoot men, rob men, take their cars, and drive their cars back to her home. She was ruthless, yet in court claimed self-defense, and although her sanity was questioned and very much questionable, she was not granted an insanity plea and was actually sentenced to death, where she did die in 2002 via lethal injection. There's a lot more entries that I could have put on this list, and there's a lot more I wanted to put on this list, but I just couldn't put it in the amount of time. We're a bit behind at the Trust Me Bro studio, so I made this video a bit shorter so we could get it out on time. So hopefully you guys can appreciate that. And if you liked this topic and want to see more, please let me know, and I'd love to do it part 2. Thank you guys so
Right.
How
about that? That was a quick, short list of very evil women.
That was crazy.
Yeah, that Aileen Wuornos is, I believe, simply the most documented female serial killer because typically she's not included on the serial killer list because the woman, she doesn't fit the typical serial killer package, right?
Mm-hmm.
But recently, past 5 years or so, she's been added. Elizabeth Bathory's been added because they do fit the psychological workup of someone who does these types of things. Now, why these people do it, I don't think that's in question. Murder is wrong. Okay. Can we all agree with that?
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Right.
much for watching.
So much for watching.
So the next one is from a creator called Dire Trip. All of the links are in the descriptions of everywhere everyone might be to have seen it. So if anybody's interested in any particular one, what's up, Rumsky? Welcome in, bud.
Welcome in, girl.
That's on Rumble, X, everywhere this thing's gone up. Links are linked. So go click links and stuff when you get a chance. But have you checked out the dire trips before?
No.
All right. It's off the wall, not necessarily creepy, but a lot of them are creepy, right? The topic is more of a non-normal variety than it is specifically dark or devious, but there's a lot of real creepy shit on it.
Hey there everyone, it's time to go over a bunch of cases that aren't really long enough to be their own video, but are definitely worth talking about. From insane mothers, to stalkers, to a legal battle over balls in a jar, we've got it all. So
balls in a jar.
Yes, he said that out loud, and he is accurate. That is the case.
Today's video is sponsored by Raycon. Sometimes I have to go on a walk to clear my head after researching these kinds of videos.
Okay, that's
And
nice.
you know
Everybody's
what I
aware
always
of
bring with me? My Raycon
Raycon. You
Everyday
can get
Earbud.
them.
Back to
You
the
can
content.
click on his link if you want.
Here
Welcome
we
to
have
it.
Kansas City mother charged in death of 1-month-old after allegedly mistakenly placing infant in oven.
What? You can't mistakenly place
Here's
a
my
baby in an oven.
Here, did she end up trying to nurse the turkey? Oh shit! and how done was it?
What's up, Big Chief?
Big Chief, what's up, bud?
You know, I'm always more than ready to talk about a Missouri case, but unfortunately this is one that's pretty awful. Very recently, a mom out in Kansas City, Missouri, the 4100 block of Forest Avenue in Midtown to be specific, was arrested and charged in the death of her 1-month-old baby for what she says was nothing more than a very, very big mistake. 6-year-old Mariah Thomas was living with her grandparents and raising her baby in their home. She called up her grandfather at about 1 p.m. one Friday afternoon, telling him vaguely that something was wrong with her baby and that he needed to come home as soon as possible. She called her grandmother up as well, this time in hysterics, barely able to convey anything. Once the grandpa came home, he immediately smelled smoke inside the house and, upon walking further in, found the deceased baby inside her crib. This was when Mariah told him that she thought she had put the baby in her crib, but had accidentally put her into the oven instead.
What? No, there is no accidental. What?
There's got to be Xannies. The Xannies, Ativan, something along those lines, where you're doing that walking dream shit.
Right. And you don't remember what you did. I guess, yes. Nobody in their right mind.
Explanation. I bet you she took a couple of shots the night before, took her freaking meds, went to bed. The baby woke her up crying. She got up, gave the baby the bottle, was thinking about what she was going to do the next day, bake bread, cook a turkey, what the fuck ever it was. And ipso facto, she ends up sleep baking her baby.
No.
I hear you. I hear you. Xannies, man, the dishes. You ain't never seen a Waffle House chef falling asleep on her grill?
No, but I mean, I went down that path, at one time, so I get it.
The police and ambulances were called, and as soon as they arrived, the cops came inside to find an infant with apparent burn wounds. The Kansas City Fire Department declared the 1-month-old child dead right there on the scene. Mariah once again reiterated that she was simply trying to put the baby down for a nap and accidentally put her into the oven.
I don't like that word.
In charged with a Class A felony, first-degree endangering the welfare of a child.
What's up, Smiley Virus?
What do you think? Is that a rational individual?
No.
In the death of her baby. She was taken into custody and consented to detectives looking through her phone data and taking a blood sample. It doesn't appear that she has an attorney to represent her yet. If Mariah were to be convicted, she could get anywhere from 10 years to life in prison, according to Missouri law. Her sentencing will likely hinge on whether or not she was going through some sort of psychosis at the time of the crime.
Look, man, I have been effed up on a bunch of different things. I'm sorry. No matter how, there's no way I would possibly mistaken an oven for a bed with my baby?
Especially not turning the fucker on.
Turning it on! Exactly!
If you're turning on your bed, you're in the wrong kind of hotel. But listen. Screaming. Why is the bassinet screaming? Okay, so how do we get to this point? And the only thought process that makes any sense to me, if you've had a newborn, you've had them just scream for 3 days straight, right? They start doing that blink sleep shit where they just drop over and they're quiet for like 8 seconds and then they sit up and start screaming again.
Sure.
Okay. Most people have someone to help them out at that point where, you know, you can at least pass them off to somebody for a few minutes of peace. But after about 3 days with alcohol and Xannies, it becomes a sketchy proposition how sane an individual is, right? Once you add drugs and booze to that equation, and maybe she's not quite right to start with, and these are not the drugs that she should be on.
I still
arrested for sending man.
I don't know. Bless you. Bless you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Not the first time I've blown my mind.
159,000
share your screen.
after their first date.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll do things.
Share it.
We'll do it your way, okay?
Okay.
Now, here's a case that you might have heard about before. It actually happened several years back, but it seems that the whole thing has finally wrapped up and we have a conclusion as to what happened to this woman. Back in 2017, a woman in Phoenix, Arizona named Jacqueline Aids joined an app called Luxy, a dating app for millionaires. To join, it seems that you either need to make over $200,000 a year or be voted into the app by other users for being attractive enough. That sounds like an absolutely horrible way to meet an actual.
All right.
Bona fide with witnesses and 3 people notarized the vote.
Serious partner, but to each their own, I guess. Jacqueline was able to get voted in and immediately set her sights on a local business owner. This guy was the CEO of a Scottsdale area company that sells skincare products. She was a beautician herself.
Now I know why Kanye wrote that song. He come across this app and went, whoa. Maybe Fox, get over here right now. I got an idea.
Likely finding this to be her perfect, filthy rich match. She hit him up and the two talked on the app for a few days before deciding to go on a date. Apparently, this date didn't go very well. The man didn't want to see her again after one date and started ignoring her calls and texts. So upon being ignored, Jacqueline decided to send him over 159,000 text messages with some calls and voicemails sprinkled in as well. In these texts, she threatened a good amount of violence against him, even dismemberment.
Are we talking about Hennessy?
I was looking for my healing angel. The psychic I met told me.
I was looking for. Sorry. Moving on.
This woman has got her head right where it should be, between some millionaire legs. I gotta hear that again.
I met him online. I was looking for my healing angel. The psychic I met told me I would meet a healing angel. I felt like I met my soulmate and everything was just the way it was. And I thought we would just do what everybody else did and we would just like get married and everything would be fine. But that's not what happened. You don't stop giving, even if you don't receive. You all of a sudden receive a lot. No. Oh my God, no, I love him so much. I just want to love him so much. That's it. And if he doesn't like it, then I'll go home and I'll love my ex-boyfriend.
Gentlemen, ATL was speaking on this earlier in chat, and I just kind of hopped over the top of it and didn't even refer to it at all. But this lady is one of those single white female types, right? She's one of those rabbit in the boiling pot types. Like, you'll come home to your dog pinned to your wall and the words "I love you" carved in his chest. Like, this girl will show up and use a freaking ice pick to carve your name in the side of strangers' cars.
For sure. Psycho.
She has since claimed that these threats were merely hypothetical. Attempting in vain to downplay her creepiness, she has said that these threats were what she would do if they got together and he happened to leave her, which in her mind seems to make it all fine.
You remember? I would never do that. Well, I said if he left me, if we were together and he left me. Okay.
You see the comment?
Yes.
He argues for everybody, huh?
So you were saying that if we ever were together, that I love him so much that I would do those things. If he left you? Me, yeah. Okay. So if he didn't want to be with you right now. Oh, that's okay. That's different though? Yeah. How's that different? Oh, because he's not here yet.
In July of 2017, she was caught on camera parking outside of this man's house. Her relentless stalking didn't end there, though. It continued for about a year.
All right, I want y'all to look at that woman's face and know that she is in custody and on psychotropic medications that's supposed to help. Yeah. This is not her normal self. When she's out, she's actually nuts. She's under the care of a physician currently. Keep that in mind forever, man. Just look at that face and know that's her as normal as she's gonna get.
Yeah.
In April.
Oh my God! Imagine her hopped up on cocaine.
No.
I bet she's a whole fruit basket.
2018, surveillance footage from inside the man's home sensed movement. Through his phone, he was able to see that Jacqueline was there, inside his house, just kind of wandering around. Luckily, he was out of the country at the time, but he alerted the local police immediately. When the police came out, they caught her there and found a large butcher knife in her car after a search. She told the police that she had been abducted by Walt Disney, a member of the Illuminati. While being taken in, she told the police,
"Are you serious? Oh my Lord.
It's got to be Florida. It's got to be Florida, man. It has got to be in Florida." I'm just, there it is, folks. Be careful with them beautiful women, boys and girls. Be real careful.
In April 2018, surveillance footage from inside the man's home sensed movement. Through his phone, he was able to see that Jacqueline was there, inside his house, just kind of wandering around. Luckily, he was out of the country at the time, but
his house.
Local police immediately. When the police came out, they caught her there and found a large butcher knife in her car after a search. She told the police that she had been abducted by Walt Disney, a member of the Illuminati, on his spaceship. While being taken in, she told the police,
"Good night, Linda. Thank you for coming."
For the last 16 months, and I couldn't, because the more I loved him, the more I learned the secrets of the universe. She was arrested on counts of stalking and criminal trespass.
All right, so this guy is obviously rather wealthy. If you're loaded like that, do you A, sell your shit in Florida and move to California or New York? B, stay in your house in Florida and just deal with the crazies? Or C, cash out and go to Bolivia because they've got better stuff there?
B, because I got a wood chipper in the back.
So you just got to stay there and deal with the crazies and feed the gators?
Yep.
I like you. You're silly.
For the last 10 months alone, despite being completely ignored, she had sent a further 65,000 text messages to the man, sometimes up to 500 in one day.
Smoking Auditor gets it. I've paid good money to try to get high as this woman is naturally, and I still can't get that messed up. Welcome in, Scrappy Dreams. Good to see you, bud.
The messages got increasingly threatening with such gems as, I'd make sushi out of your kidneys and chopsticks out of your hand bones.
No, Scrappy, he
I'd
didn't
wear
hump
your
her.
fascia on the top of your skull and your hands and feet, with fascia being a thin layer of tissue over the internal organs, by the way. The police said she was showing signs of mental illness. When the police asked her why she
said that out loud and stuff, like typed it in a tweet, sent it to him. I would wear your fascia on my hands and feet. These are the what we referred to it as the lights. When you're butchering an animal, they are the connective tissue that keeps your intestines in the right spot and stuff. It's not terribly strong. It's able to like move around and stuff, but at the same time, it keeps everything together. Mostly.
She was in his home, she said, I guess I made up a whole scenario in my head where I live here, so I came here and pretended that's what was happening. Even after this arrest, she didn't stop. She continued to text the man, saying, you do whatever you have to get here, but don't ever try to leave me. I'll kill you. I don't want to be a murderer. While comparing herself to Hitler and calling him a genius. She once again showed up to the man's home, pretending to be his wife, which got her arrested once again. She told the cops that she had no intentions of causing him any harm. She thought her text messages were funny, not understanding why anyone found them scary or weird.
I wouldn't actually do that.
But you said it.
That's funny.
No, it's not.
That's funny.
You saw the hair on the back of this man's head stand up. That's funny.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Not when, you were in his house. You weren't invited. I bet she was invited once. Bet he hit it. You reckon he hit it?
No.
You don't think so?
No, because I bet you she was crazy fucking gecko. I mean, crazy from the get-go.
Yeah, no, crazy as hell. And then he paid her to have a dorkin. They dorkined, and now she knows where he lives.
No.
He took her out, took her home. They had a lovely evening, and she wanted it to continue, and so she just pretended it never ended. Instead of going
because
home,
I think that she's so crazy that if it did happen one time, she would consider that being together. And she keeps stating, you know what I mean, that they're not together. But if they were together,
well, he's been screaming at her by her admission for 6 months to leave him alone, but she just couldn't.
Right.
He hit it. He hit it. That's probably didn't pay her, and it just stuck in her brain.
You're talking about taking out his muscles and his organs and wearing his skin, and I mean that.
I didn't think it was scary. I mean, he does this to me. He calls the police on me.
Yeah, because you say things like this.
I mean, I didn't say that the first couple times he did call the police on me.
After a trial and spending some time waiting in jail, Jacqueline was offered a deal where she could be released on time served if she accepted.
What? What? We're letting this girl go, dude. Did you see her eyes? I have heard of the crazy eye, and I have seen some crazy eye, but that bitch got Manson lamps.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did 10 years of probation and was no longer allowed to contact her victim. She didn't agree to it. Instead, she pled not guilty to all charges. She said that she felt this was all a test by her victim to see how dedicated she really was to him. Her court-appointed attorney requested that mental health professionals evaluate her mental competency and ability to understand the gravity of the charges against.
You think?
I mean, I would have done that
She
already.
seems to be perfectly aware that what she's doing is wrong. She also seems to completely not care. She has no interest in not doing it.
Against her. After much time passed, the charges against Jacqueline were completely dropped. She was found to be mentally incompetent and completely non-restorable. Her attorney agreed with the court's decision. She was all set to be transported to a behavioral health center to stay for a while. Then, after her stay was over, her parents picked her up and took her back home to Florida to get additional treatment under their watch.
Florida. There's something in the water, man. Beautiful, crazy women. Something in the water.
She is still forbidden.
Hold on. I've got one. Check this out. All right. So I had a buddy of mine named Jesse, right? He went down to Florida and picked up this chick, brought her home to Georgia. They shacked up in a little bitty like Airstream trailer not far from where I lived out there in the swamp. And after about 6 weeks, he's had enough of her. He's going to take her to the fucking bus station and get rid of her, right? So he comes and gets me. Like, he leaves his car at his house, walks 1.5 miles down the road to come knock on my door so I can take him back to his house and ride with him so that he won't be riding. But according to him, so he won't be riding back alone, right? Just as we're leaving, another buddy of ours that he had called asking to go because he didn't want to go alone. Apparently he was scared of her, but I had not put this together yet. And this other guy was like, oh, sure. You know, he hops in the car and, you know, we're riding off to Macon or Dublin or wherever the hell we was going. I end up in the back seat with this chick and she looks over at me and goes, hey, man, I have a cigarette. I've known her for about 6 months. Never seen her smoke a single cigarette in my life. But I'm like, okay. I hand her a cigarette. She sits there with it for a little while. She goes, I mean, like good 20 minutes. She just sat there and stared at it, like played with it, flipped it around in her fingers, looks over at me and goes, can I have a light? I'm like, yeah, sure. Hand her the lighter. She takes it. She puffs that sucker up, hands me the lighter back, says, thank you. Now, this is a stunningly beautiful woman. And she puffs that cigarette up to a nice big bright red ember, looks at me and gives me the most devastating smile I've ever seen on an angel and put that motherfucker out in the back of his head.
What?
I see, dude, he almost wrecked the car if the guy in the passenger seat hadn't got a hold of the wheel because she grounded in. It broke off, went down the back of his shirt, and he almost jumped out of the car running 60. And then I realized I was trapped in the back seat with a mad woman that I did not want to be here anymore.
No,
this is absurd. Because this bitch, after about 5 minutes, looks at me and goes, can I have a cigarette? Absolutely not.
No.
No, ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am. With all due respect, I don't think
absolutely not. I seen what you did with the first one.
Wrong button. That woman. Oh my God, that woman. Oh, good Lord. I'm telling you.
Brandon Mitchell, good evening.
Welcome in, Brandon. Make stupid people famous. Good to see you. So y'all be careful, boys. Watch out for that crazy eye. Man, it don't necessarily mean she's nuts. First of all women are crazy. But it's a good rule of thumb that if you get the impression of being prey when this stares at you, you should probably
you're going down.
Aroused. Do not become aroused by this look. This is a warning look. You know, in nature, things with bright colored feathers are typically dangerous. It's a warning sign.
To stay for a while. Then, after her stay was over, her parents picked her up and took her back home to Florida to get additional treatment under their watch. She is still forbidden to contact the man she stalked for so long. This one is Georgia reigning beauty queen charged in murder of 18-month-old.
Oh my God.
Okay, so Georgia's pretty close to Florida, I'm not going to lie.
I'll be honest with you here, I have really no idea what any of this pageant stuff is about or the significance of it, so I'm just going to tell you exactly what the article said, so bear with me for just a moment. Here we have the story of Trinity Madison Pogue, an 18-year-old beauty pageant contestant and reigning beauty queen. After graduating from Southwest Georgia Academy in Damascus with honors, she became the current Miss Donaldsonville, participating in some pageant called the National Peanut Festival. She went on to Georgia State University in Americus. There, she was one of only 22 freshmen chosen for the President Jimmy Carter Leadership Program. In 2023, she was named Miss Seminole with a photo of her holding a young child on stage, a dark bit of foreshadowing. Her mom shared a photo of her on Facebook, along with a quote Trinity wrote her.
Hold on. You can call me an asshole later, but I'm calling them out on this one. If I'm not mistaken, that woman is giving a Nazi salute.
Stop. Stop it.
Well, I mean, it is Georgia State University.
Shadowing. Her mom shared a photo of her on Facebook, along with a quote.
I know, right? And she is going like
God
that.
does not give us everything we want, but he does fulfill his purpose,
Goals,
leading us along the best and straightest paths to himself. And then she was arrested and charged in the murder of an 18-month-old baby boy. It has been rumored that this boy was the boyfriend, but it seems we still don't really know that for sure. The police haven't stated her relationship to the child. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation was contacted by the Georgia Southwestern State University Police Department after the baby was admitted into the emergency room at the Phoebe Sumner Hospital. Originally, the child was unconscious, but he later passed away in that hospital. Initial findings have reported that the cause of death appeared to be blunt force trauma. After multiple interviews with the police, Trinity was arrested. She's being held at the Sumner County Jail without bond. She's facing charges of aggravated battery, felony murder, and cruelty to a child in the first degree. It came to be known that the name of the boy was Romeo Anglais, according to his birth certificate. While the boy's family asked for privacy, they did set up a GoFundMe page to raise some money to support the father. The page states, "A man that was the sole caretaker of his only child now has the tragedy of having to lay him to rest." Here we've got California woman who stabbed boyfriend 108 times sentenced to probation.
What?
This is what's wrong with the justice system today. This right here. The amount of rage it takes to stab somebody 108 times should not be walking the street.
Here's a very controversial case that has both infuriated and confused a lot of people out there for pretty understandable reasons. Our case starts in December of 2017.
Thank you, Brandon.
This was when 32-year-old Bryn Spedcher was hanging out with her boyfriend, 26-year-old Chad O'Mala, smoking some weed and enjoying some conversation. However, with no warning, Bryn suddenly...
You see it. I told you.
Demise.
You see it, right? The Manson lamps, bro. Them things is looking inside your skull, looking for a place to lodge that knife. You can see her calculating how she's going to kill you. It's not even a conscious register inside her own head. It's just something she does with every man and woman she comes across. Well, if I have to kill him, what am I going to do? I'll use that knife over there. I'll stab him right in the spine.
Suddenly snapped, pulled out a knife, and stabbed her boyfriend about 108 times, stabbing herself in the process as well. Police arrived on scene where they found Bryn sitting in a pool of blood, still holding her knife. She wouldn't go quietly, ultimately leading them to having to use a taser and a baton to get the knife away from her and take her into custody. Once her trial began, a medical expert came forth to say that Bryn's behavior was the result of cannabis-induced psychosis.
Oh my God.
All right.
Really?
Hold on now. Hold on. I have a couple of cousins and some other people in my life that cannot smoke cannabis. They cannot take cannabis. I gave that man a gummy one time and he fruited up for 3 days. I don't know what the hell it does to some people, but it does cause them to lose their monkey fucking shit, right? That being said, it is completely possible that she's full of shit. Looking at her eyes, I suspect there might be something wrong to begin with. What's up, Gary Baxter? Good to see you, bud.
Diagnosis is given out whenever one hallucinates or suffers from delusions immediately upon taking the drug. Her attorneys argued that she was bullied and intimidated into smoking more than she wanted to, saying that she was involuntarily intoxicated. Medical professionals or not, many people found their assertions ridiculous, and the case quickly became very divisive. However, it seems that many more people were on the side of THC psychosis being a lame excuse for what she did. At a hearing, Bryn had to face her boyfriend's family and express remorse for what she did. She told them, "My actions have ripped..."
Welcome in Scully's House of Thrillers. How are you doing this evening? Hope you are well.
Scully.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to go with my previous statement. Bitch got a set of Madison lamps. Make sure you can see her hands at all times.
Ripped your family apart. I am broken and aching inside. I hurt that you never see Chad again. Chad's mother was not impressed, saying, "It's been 5.5 years where she has got to live with her family and we get to live with a box of ashes." However, in the end, the Ventura County Superior Court Judge David Worley surprisingly decided to sentence Bryn to no jail time at all. Speaking of the moments after she smoked weed, he said, "From that point forward, she had no control over her actions."
So I think in this case, or cases like this where they claim weed-induced psychosis, they ought to be stuck in a room and handed a handful of gummies and then observed 48 hours or so. And if they lose their nut, then okay, we've got an option. And I know what you're saying, they could just fake it, but not really. Not if you've ever seen anybody whose cheese has slid off their cracker, who's dropped their basket, who's having to hide under the piano. None of this is acceptable behavior. So they literally have no control over themselves. So
okay, but even then, I don't think they get to walk free, especially if they killed somebody. They need to
I
be
agree.
in
I'm not saying probation was acceptable. I'm simply saying that there seems to be in our justice system a missing step on this one issue. All you got to say is weed-induced psychoses, and some random judge out there decides that you are not sane, which he's right, but that doesn't change the fact.
But you can take weed; it's just drug-induced because it could be. I mean, that doesn't. I understand this case is weed, but there's a lot of drug-induced psychosis.
You're not wrong.
Cause people. I know I'm not wrong.
I mean, meth is a hell of a drug.
Yeah.
Instead, Bryn was sentenced to 2 years of probation and 100 hours of community service.
Only 2 years?
It seems that the number of people outraged at this outcome far outnumbers the people who actually agree with it. Now we've got 17-year-old shot and killed by officer conducting welfare check.
Oh, snap.
And this is the one that I brought specifically for you to watch. Okay. We're doing the whole video. Sometimes I don't. This time we are. I want your opinion on this one.
All right.
Because I think it's going to get your short and curlies in a twist.
Here we have an extremely counterproductive incident that recently took place at a family home in Nebraska. The police in Columbus were called with a request to perform a welfare check on a resident who had been showing signs of committing self-harm. A few of the police went out to the home, making contact with the 17-year-old boy in question. He was holding a knife, so one officer shot him with a taser while another opened fire and killed him right there. The boy, later identified as Chase Ditter, was pronounced dead right there on the scene. It goes without saying that people weren't very happy upon hearing about this case. The Columbus Police Department contacted the state to conduct an in-depth death investigation. Now, the Nebraska State Patrol is conducting an investigation of the entire situation. Both of the officers involved in the killing have been placed on administrative leave. The Columbus police attempted to reassure the public, saying that there is no threat to the community. They're being tight-lipped about any more details.
What's that?
I said they're on administrative leave with pay.
Yeah, with pay, of course.
Details involving this case for the time being. And oh boy, here we have transgender women.
Before yeah, okay, let's do it. Fuck it.
Woman loses bid to sue ex for throwing out her surgically removed testicles.
Oh, this is the balls in the jar.
All right, so this one's just weird. I mean, it's perfectly fitting for a compilation like this, but beyond that, I really don't have any words.
Bro, and I've seen this dude have a conversation about somebody who chopped someone into little pieces and sprinkled them out across the stream. The only reason they got caught was because they wrote a letter to someone, right? He goes through the location of all the different pieces and everything. It was like a 14-year-old kid and whatnot. Nothing. But he gets to this case and is like, sorry, I got nothing.
The story started out when two people, Brianna Kingsley, 40, and William Wojciechowski, 37, met on a Facebook community in April of 2020. They quickly fell for each other as, by fall of 2021, Brianna was moving in with William to live in the house that he had bought. It seems that Brianna had a bit of surgery, getting those good old balls chopped off and thrown into a jar. Going by Rhino Witch Sanctuary on TikTok, Brianna uploaded a video titled The Unboxing of D's Nuts of the nards in a jar kept in the family fridge for the Sitting on a fancy chair, Brianna held up a bottle of
All right, we got our participation trophy winner of the night. I've been waiting. Somebody got to go hard. Oh, that is dark humor. I don't care how cold the baby is. You don't put them in the oven, bro. That's not where we keep warm. I appreciate your participation, bro.
Oh my God.
I'm not even going to try to say your name, but I've got a theory that if Jesus was alive today, he'd work at a Taco Bell.
For the camera, pondering the orbs, delighting in a
either Jesus, Fujimori, or Jesus.
For all to see. Brianna said, "I deal with trauma with comedy. Shakespeare did it." However, unfortunately, the couple broke up in December of 2022, unable to stand each other any longer after living together for 1 year. Brianna, having moved out, realized that she forgot her container of peanuts back at Williams.
Hold up. That can't be possible. That can't be real. He's got to be throwing a joke in there, bro. Oh my Lord. Is that a real thing? Really?
So when she went back to the home again, William denied her entry and told her to go away and stop harassing him. He said that all of her belongings were gone, so he had no more reason to interact with her. So Brianna decided to sue. Granted, gotta go get gonads, guys. The claim said, for real, William retains possession of my surgically extracted testicles, preserved in a mason jar kept in the fridge next to the eggs.
Why?
It demanded both the return of the balls and $6,500 in damages. So William decided to countersue for being humiliated by the case. The judge tossed out both Brianna's case and rejected Williams as well. He called the whole thing a wash and said that his decision can't be appealed. Part of his reasoning was that he had no idea how to even go about calculating damages in a case like this, saying, "I can put a dollar amount on, say, if you were missing work at $16 an hour, but as to testicles, I can't really put a number on it."
All right, chat. I don't often do this, but we're doing it tonight. I want to know, how much do you value your most valuable testicles in your life? Whether you have them or don't, somewhere out there is a set of testes you care about. How much, what dollar figure? Yeah, that is nuts. What dollar figure do you put on a pair of testicles in a jar?
I mean, how much did it take to get them taken out?
Is that the dollar value?
I mean, to me, that's what I would say, but I don't have nuts. I just got balls.
I'm sorry, but I mean, whatever nuts out there you value most in your life are the ones that it applies to. I'm not going to name anybody because I wouldn't want to guess, but listen. Smith gets it. Priceless. Make stupid people famous. Priceless. You're not going to be able to put a dollar figure on it, whether they are attached or not.
Right.
Anybody, anywhere, an actual dollar figure? I don't think I'm going to see it. They're not going to do it. Anybody with a set aren't going to come off of them, willingly for most part.
See, Andy Pickle says the same. They are family jewels, so they're priceless.
Right. They were passed down to me. It's sort of an heirloom. Yeah, no, hernias suck, bro. suck. My father's hard as a rock at Gibraltar. The only thing I ever seen him stop him. And this man worked through kidney stones, dislocated joints and shit. He had a broken hand at one point in time, missed one day of work because they made him. Right? But hernia put his ass down overnight. Homie woke up in the morning and was just like, nah, not doing it. We're going to the doctor. I was like, yep.
In January, Brianna was arrested, fined $100, and put into jail for 3 days for violating a...
Buttons have to work when you press them. It don't matter if it don't work when you press them. They have to.
A personal protection order William had filed. After, a sheriff's deputy accompanied her to William's house. This time as well, she neglected to snag the boys. The judge noted that Brianna kept neglecting to take them, so this was on her, saying, "We allow a one-time visit with a sheriff's officer in situations like that for people to go back and get their belongings. Ms. Kingsley failed to retrieve the testicles from the refrigerator at that time. If they were so important to her, she had the opportunity to grab them, and she didn't."
So they slipped her mind? I'm sorry.
Mine. Why are they in the refrigerator?
Well, you're not just going to leave them on a shelf.
Why not? When you go see scientists, organs and all that stuff, you know, CSI, they're all on shelves in some
because her
fluid.
balls are cool. Don't you know she don't want them getting hot and sweaty?
Well, she didn't want them. She got them taken out. So what the hell?
Obviously, she wanted them enough to keep them in the refrigerator, which I think is an odd choice. But okay. Yeah, Lorena Bobbitt. Yeah, do you remember the porn star interview?
The only thing I kept thinking, because they said they were next to the eggs, right? Is that somebody's going to think they're like them pickled eggs, you know? Like, I don't know what testicles look like, but that's the only thing.
I'm going to call bullshit on that one.
What?
I know you've seen a set of testicles, so don't even start.
I mean, never mind.
Yeah, maybe just shut the hell up. Let us go.
To everyone's shock, William told the judge that he had already thrown the nuts in the trash, saying, "They were rotting in my fridge. It was disgusting. I've got food in there I wanted to eat." She didn't keep them in a biohazard container like she was supposed to. It seems that the removal of the balls had costed $20,000, but it was paid for by the state due to Brianna being disabled.
What?
Hello, exiled one. Yeah, sans balls, and you paid for it. How you feel now?
What?
Taxpayer code.
She's disabled. What's her disability?
She lost her balls. She'll never get them back now.
So the whole removal was basically free in the first place. The judge finished by saying, "The state paid for that, you didn't. You're not going to be unjustly enriched." And check this one out. Thieves somehow steal 200-foot WJLX radio tower.
Look, this one.
There's your price, 20,000, Brumsky said.
This is one of those stories that I'm not really upset with these people. I'm more impressed than anything else because they stole an entire radio tower. Talk about some hardcore meth heads, dude.
What?
Yeah, an active radio tower, bro. They took it down during the show.
What did it say? 202 feet?
200 feet, 200-foot WJLX radio tower. An active radio station.
So out in Jasper, Alabama, we have a heist of pretty epic proportions that honestly seems impossible, but yeah, here we are. Out of nowhere, the WJLX radio station in Walker County had their 200-foot tall AM radio tower completely stolen, and nobody knows who did it or how they even managed to do it. The radio station's signal has been pretty negatively impacted by the theft. The general manager of the station, Brett Elmore, feels hopeful that somebody will come forward with information as to who stole their tower. After all, this is a theft of such incredible proportions that it would be hard to keep anyone from talking about it. Regardless, he's left pretty flabbergasted by the entire thing.
I've tried all weekend to figure it out, and I just can't. I've been in the radio business, around it all my life, and then been in it for 26 years professionally. And I can say I've never heard of anything like this.
That's
and
Alabama,
one,
ain't it?
I've seen
Mississippi.
it all now.
He said that he first learned about the theft when he sent a cleaning crew out to the base of the tower to get rid of some brush. This was when they realized that not only was the brush cleared out, but so was the entire tower itself. It was just gone.
When he arrived, he called me on Friday and said, the tower's gone. So I said, what do you mean the tower's gone? You know, and are you sure you're at the right place? You know, and he said, no. He said, the tower's gone. There's wires everywhere and it's gone.
Now the station is working with the FCC to get some temporary permissions to keep the station going while they rebuild on the AM radio side of
George
things.
Lopez is
They
the
don't
radio.
really have an estimate as to how long that might take, though. They said, "This really hurts a small operation like this, but like I said, I believe we will find out who did this. It is a federal crime and it absolutely will not be worth it to them." It seems the Jasper police are still on the lookout for who might have stolen the tower. The general manager, after doing some calculations, has found that they were robbed of about $200,000 worth of equipment. If you happen to know anything about this case, it's recommended that you call either
They're
Crime Stoppers
still
or the
free.
Jasper police.
Do you hijack 200 foot of radio tower plus associated wires and dip out?
In Jasper.
Oh, so just go to Jasper County and do that. Okay.
No,
All
but
right.
I'm saying, and it's such. I mean, ain't Jasper kind of small? It's not like big, right?
I don't know, man. When you're talking about Alabama and Mississippi, sizes become somewhat questionable. You know, all the trees in Georgia lean to the west. It's because Alabama sucks.
Tip. This one's sex noises from San Diego massage parlor interrupt church services, lead to
Hey,
prosecution
Manny,
bust.
welcome in.
Oddly enough, this isn't the first time I've talked about some raunchy naughtiness, making things a little awkward
Raunchy
for
naughtiness.
and causing them to stop their services. It's been a while, so let's get into another one. There's a quote day spa out in San Diego called the Ocean Sea Massage Parlor that's been bothering local residents for quite some time now. Not only have the patrons of the spa been getting some happy endings, but they've been very, very vocal about their excitement in doing so. People were getting a little tired of hearing their happy times. Things had gotten so raunchy that they didn't even limit their activities to the inside of the spa. They began to take their clients out to their cars and, in turn, to the bone zone as well. Things were especially awkward for a local church youth group who would hold services and Bible study in the same complex next door. After
All right. We're going to recap because I just want to say these words out loud. The massage parlor opened up in the same strip mall, apparently, or parking lot at least, of the current church. And apparently, while the church is closed most days, the massage parlor is not closed on Sunday.
Right.
So how many guys you reckon started going to church suddenly?
Oh, I'm sure quite a bit. It definitely increased.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if actual attendance increased, but there was more men saying they were going to church.
Right.
And you can see the car in the parking lot.
Hearing people getting it on and screaming throughout so many meetings, they eventually decided to end their lease and just move somewhere else. All sorts of businesses and residents made so many complaints to the police about the noise that they couldn't ignore it any longer. First, the police sent some undercover cops out to the location in order to see what was really going on. They were offered sexual services immediately upon asking. They also found well over 1,300 ads online advertising those services at that spa right there in the open. After an investigation, 4 people were arrested for prostitution, and the city began to try and shut the business down. The city attorney is also giving them about $100,000 in fines and civil penalties to reimburse the city for the legal costs. She said in a press release, "The owners of Ocean Spa have been masquerading as a legitimate business for far too long. Ocean Spa is a sex shop, not a massage parlor, and it has no place in our community or anywhere else. We look forward to holding those perpetrators accountable and to restoring peace in this complex. Local California business owners have said that recent laws put into place to cut down.
Hold on. I had a capitalism moment when I was younger. I was supposed to be going to a coffee shop in Dublin. And in the process of heading up there to go meet some people, I ran across some other people who were going to the lake. And I decided I was going to ride with them to the lake. We never went to the lake. We never saw but one boat, which had a half gallon of vodka in it. They went to the boat, got the vodka, and then we went to a strip club in Augusta. And I was sitting in the strip club shooting shots of vodka out of my pocket. And I saw what might be the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. It was a 21-year-old Vietnamese woman with not a stitch of clothing on, counting thousands of dollars out in her hands. She was naked as a jaybird the day she was born, and just like a banker, walking through the middle of a strip club. And I went, good God, God bless America. I love this country.
Down on prostitution on the streets have done nothing but force them into situations like this and make things even more awkward. One local business owner said, "It's always been pretty common with massage parlors to offer more than massages. But with the new law, the whole industry is emboldened because they know nothing will happen. The prostitution has steadily increased." As it turns out, some of the girls at this massage parlor would actually sleep in the rooms after hours, seemingly living there. Although it isn't known for sure yet, some wonder if the establishment might have been participating in human trafficking. With a very busy border crossing in San Diego, the trafficking problem coming in from Mexico is only growing worse, and incidents like this are happening more and more. And now, Afghan migrant masturbating on train tracks halts rail traffic across Kessel region.
What?
You reckon he made the Kessel run in 30 parsecs? No. I doubt it. It was a bad joke.
As if we didn't have enough raunchy stories this time, well, here comes another one. On January 16th, out in the German city of Kessel, it appears that a migrant from Afghanistan had gone out in the middle of the train tracks to conduct a little self-maintenance. The man, who lives in Niest, laid down on the middle of the tracks and started stroking the pickle. The conductor of a train had to pull the brakes and slow the train to a grinding halt to avoid turning him into hamburger meat all over the tracks. He managed to completely shut down the entire Kessel rail.
All right, you remember me saying that he has talked about shit from high hell to Shinola and has always had, but when he come to the man losing his balls, the woman losing her balls, however you want to put that, he had no words.
Right.
Just, I really don't have nothing to say about this. I just went right into it.
For real.
System. He was swiftly arrested and hopefully cleaned up. Despite the massive upset to infrastructure, information about the case was withheld and wasn't published until a week later on the 22nd. A police spokesman said, because of him, the driver of a Regio tram in the direction of Kessel had to brake quickly in the area of Kessel Junkfinkofen train stop. Some witnesses had recorded the 30-year-old man goinking it on the tracks, which they later leaked online. Luckily, nobody was injured during the whole incident. The man has been charged with interfering with train traffic. And wife tries to kill husband over postcard from woman he dated 60 years ago.
All right, I've read about this one. Hold on.
Didn't we hear like the whole case on this one or no? Or is this a different
it's going to be these are all really short ones that he didn't really have enough information to do a full video on, and so he stuck them all together in a compilation. In this case, as if I remember right, the one of the kids was looking for something in the attic and pulled out a box. The box was open just out of curiosity. The guy went through some stuff and found an old love letter, an old card from an old flame he used to date, right? And he pulls it out, sets it down, and takes the box back upstairs. The wife wanders in, finds the card, thinks it's current, and starts stabbing that motherfucker. Ladies, get some help.
And you should see this coming by now. A Florida case. Florida woman this time. Here we go. A very elderly woman, 71-year-old Bertha Yalter, was apparently quite angry with her husband when he received a postcard from his ex-girlfriend, a woman he hadn't dated in 60 years. At their condo in the Eastern Shores area.
Holy shit, this is a different case. Those ladies, believe but verify. Double check. Don't be stabbing motherfuckers just on a whim, yo. It's not worth it. That's life, unless you're apparently in California, and then it's only like 6 months probation.
North
I guess you rewound Mushroom Annie. Yes, baby in the oven.
Baby in the oven. Yeah, it's back at the beginning, and I'm not sorry that I showed it to y'all, and I'm not sorry about the jokes, and that actually that's not how you keep them warm either. We verified that as well.
Heat rage. She both bit and beat her husband, tried to smother him with a pillow, and for some reason urinated all over him. Police came out to the scene.
Okay, I get that she be wilding. Zebra gang. Okay, I got you. Boy, you might have been able to get the participation trophy if they hadn't been trying to warm up the baby in the oven earlier. Oh my lord, dude, he sat still long enough to get peed on and didn't want to be peed on, supposedly. You reckon you could chase somebody down and pee on them?
No, I wouldn't want to pee on anybody.
No, I'm just saying, do you think it would be physically possible for you to run some guy who's trying not to be peed on down?
I mean, it depends. It's possible.
You think you could do that?
If they were slower than me, yes.
Okay.
Only to see a victim that they described as extremely fragile,
Kelly did it.
and open lacerations on both of his arms and stomach area, as well as open
R.
bite
Kelly
marks
did
that
it.
were bleeding.
Yeah. R. Kelly's not a 73-year-old woman neither. Just saying, bro. Like that woman might give me nightmares. Rachel, I'm sleeping with you tonight.
The police were able to find cell phone video of the assault, which is now being used as evidence against Bertha. She's now facing charges of attempted murder,
pure nightmare fuel. That's coming to pee on you.
Gross.
aggravated battery on a person 65 and older, and tampering with a victim. She's being held without bond. Now, the detectives are asking anyone with more information to please come forward and contact the authorities. Once again, thank you for watching my video. If you don't mind, go ahead.
And equally as well, thank you for watching our video.
That was crazy. Did you see the one I sent you about the lady getting arrested for masturbating?
I haven't clicked it yet. It's over there. I was having absolute shit fits with my computer earlier, and you sent that, and I looked at it, and I went, not right now. I'm busy. I restarted my computer again. You know what you got to do, right?
Gotta do that thing.
That thing that you do.
All right, it's that time of night. We've been on for about 2 hours. Thanks for coming with Lost with AJoT and a Caucasian Sasquatch. Much appreciated, much love. We'll see you next week, Tuesday. Be there.